back. We are here for Apocalypse Keys, Bonds of Power, Episode 7. All right, so our Omen class monsters have unlocked Doom's door, trying to figure out how the keys fit into the facets. But I would love to hear previously on from our players to see what they remember besides that from last time. So, whomever wants to start.
Yeah, I can go. It was pretty quick. Uh, Vivi very gracefully descended a wall and had a conversation with the elder and had some discussion about youth and power and flying off the I guess knee-jerk reactions to things being good and or bad, and what one might exchange for power. And yeah, that was the session for Vivi.
Zero went poking around in an abandoned apartment that the residents considered to be haunted or cursed. And he found one of the victims who has been transformed into something at least a little bit hungry and was nibbled on a bit. And no one came to help him, which is all he's going to remember about that, really.
You just wait. You just wait until Vivi takes tragedy will not claim another, and then you won't be able to get me out of your scenes. But until then, I'm sure. I look forward to the inevitable sulky teenager blow up.
Oh, it's coming. Also, don't forget to mark your impulses.
Thank you. Petri, anything from last time that you remember?
I remember Wisp almost inciting a revolution, or at least, the very least, starting a riot. And then Petri and Wisp had a very, nice emotional scene. And there was a lot of hay made about creatures being half one thing and half another thing, and being rended, constantly being rended and remade. Don't remember what that was about, but that was in there.
Just as a review, if I recall correctly, especially from my rewatch, I believe that with all of the keys matched to the different facets, you have figured out that the killer of the particular Madelancholy was doing it to bring them to back to their old traditions, being more of the monsters that they were, as opposed to being more restrained and trying to fit into this modern world. And this killer, by virtue of doing that, wants to commune with the harbinger in question. Perhaps you don't really know who that is right now, but you know where the door is, and you're going to figure out how you want to take care of it, or how you want to take care of whatever's on the other side. So, the door, or at least was hinted at, if it's not up there, then it's at least hinted at by the infestation that was found, leaving blood and gore in its wake. In which case, it's like, are you going to see if it is accessible by the roof garden, or are you going to follow a trail somewhere to this door? And what is the plan to close it, take care of it, take care of the killer? What are you planning on doing?
So we know we haven't actually named the murderer yet. We don't know who that is.
Right.
Does
You
that
suspect their motives, but you haven't named anybody.
do we get to, or
Yes. Oh, absolutely. If you think you have an inkling of who it is that has wanted to bring the Madelancholy back to their old ways, and who wants to use these ritual sacrifices to commune with the harbinger, with a harbinger in question, then yeah, I mean, like, do you have any ideas? Do you think being at the door will bring them to you? I mean, like, again, what's the what's the play? Because I imagine that this is after you have all come back together again. Maybe at this point, Wisp is delayed getting back because of, and we'll figure out a reason. But yeah,
the riot, probably.
yeah, true. She might be going back out there and inciting people who are now starting to ask her questions about these murders and why was it covered up, and yeah. She's spearheading a search for the truth, we can say.
I feel like we haven't met all that many side characters that it could be. Like I don't think it would be Sister Teresa, given all the effort she's made. It wouldn't make sense.
Right.
Franklin Wolf doesn't make sense either.
Well, I mean, it could be.
I mean, it could be, but honestly, I'm not interested in that.
Well, I mean, aren't if this is Madelancholy pushing for this, wouldn't they be by default female presenting? Aren't all Madelancholy's femme?
Also, isn't Franklin Wolf like explicitly not from here?
Also that.
Well, sure, but I mean, cover a story, make sure you get something to film. Like, there's ways to make it work. I'm not saying I want. I'm just,
Yeah, I guess.
They
One of the
have many
victims is not-
genders. Madelancholy
Maybe-
have many genders. Humans often read them as being feminine.
And then I take that part back, but there's still the other parts of Franklin that don't fit super well. So I don't know of who we've met, who we could point at.
Yeah. Unless our only real options, I think, are the elder or one of the victims is not actually deceased and it was a setup.
It was Lily that took a bite out of Zero, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Could Lily have done all this to achieve this new form? Like this
And then
is
just
part of
like
it?
forgotten it.
Yeah, because if she's only, I mean, like, it's a possibility, because if she's only recently, like, reconstituted from her experience, then it's a possibility that, there's that temporary amnesia as things hook up back together. I'm just going to put in a possible. Well, reanimated.
Ooh.
Possible. Oh, what are we going to call that? Avatar? No, not Avatar. Follower?
Harbinger?
I think that the discussion was that it wasn't necessarily the Harbinger themselves. It was like an agent. There we go. Agent of the Harbinger. Okay. Just going to put that in there just as a note. Yeah, I just want to point out, like, one thing. It's like, she had said to you, Vivi, I think. It was either Vivi or Wisp. I think she had said that she had given up power to do a particular thing, and I think she's on the side of she didn't want them to go back to their old ways.
Yeah, that was how I read that as well.
Yeah.
So then I suppose the first step would be to get to the door, and maybe that will answer our questions.
Mm-hmm. So again, the key that's attached to that is the infestation of the insects. So again, is the door found by following said insects, or are we talking like it's somewhere up on the roof garden and the insects are kind of like the indicator that the door is nearby? What do you
What if
think?
the insects are the door? They need to go into a specific shape and then
Ooh.
they assemble out of their bodies.
Let's have a well, hold on, let me think. Coming up with this theory would require you to, I mean, like, I know we were doing it in a freewheeling discussion outside of this, but I mean, like, mechanically, or excuse me, fictionally, it's like somehow you guys would have gotten together and, like, discussed this. Does Zero begrudgingly or willingly go with his companions?
That's a really good question, because I don't know that he would.
What would he do?
I think he'd go to the door by himself. Maybe before they do.
Well, you are on the 5th floor. Or you were. If he somehow makes it up before you two, before Wisp, what do you think has delayed you from getting to the door up in the roof garden? Wisp is still engaged with the crowd down in the commune. But what about you two?
I mean, I think Vivi probably is there nearby with the elder, partially to make sure that Wisp isn't getting in, like getting in too deep here, in over her head, not going to cause a revolution. Not, I don't know. I can just see like this. That seemed a very gut reaction move by Wisp to do that, and so I think maybe just, especially after the conversation that they had, just is trying to stay nearby, and would take something happening to pull them away from this area.
That's a very good thought, as a matter of fact. I think as you're talking to the elder and finishing up, and Petri, where are you before you head up to the roof garden?
Remember.
Were you with Wisp maybe, and then you...
I definitely was with Wisp. I remember the last scene we had was me and Wisp in the chapel.
Yeah.
I think. And then we didn't go anywhere because we had the stinger on whoever.
Yep. Okay.
So I guess I'm still in the chapel.
Okay. I think as the door approaches, or the stinger happened, the personage had said, it's like, they almost have everything they need. I think everyone will now feel and hear in their bones, or not bones, depending. They will hear what sounds like a symphony of discordant voices, growling a forbidden prayer. It seems to be resonating throughout the building, enough that you can see the walls shudder. The paneling and the wallpaper that's in Elder Adorha's place, Vivi, you can see is like, taking on this like vibration that looks like it would be an earthquake, except it's not shaking back and forth. It's not shaking up and down. It is just some kind of... I think you would recognize this a little bit. Your people had used time shifting
Dimensional
to...
phasing.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, time and dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, that happened. Vivi's head will sort of snap up and try to locate it, and they will quickly stand off of the elder's couch, right? I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it has started. Oh no. You should stay here. I should go. Keep your people safe. And Vivi will just immediately start to leave.
Okay. You will look down at your hands, I believe. The clock has ticked forward. You will look down at your hands, and you will see like that undulation vibration of like time lapsing within your movements as you make your way where you think or where you feel this is. Petri, I think you're feeling this in your wings. I think Zero had noticed that your wings had changed to look like that vision that was up in the sky earlier, and now you are getting this sense of self or selves that are too many wings, too many hands, too many mouths, all converging in your head. And you hear this discordant growl in your being. And a meek little whisper that you hear that says, "My liege, is this truly what you want?" And Zero, I think as you're making your way to the roof garden, you too are experiencing a shift of sorts. This time, it is the hallway that you're in to get up to the stairs, to get up to the roof garden, is suddenly plunged in darkness. And the only thing that is giving off light is the bright square of the window leading to the roof garden that you can see at the top of the non-existent stairs at the moment. But you see almost as a vision in the dark. You see a figure. It looks like you. It is you. But it is not you. What is the you that exists when you remembered who you were? What is the you that is not of this world?
It is death. It is the end. And it feels a little bit like home.
What, the end of everything? No wine, no dreams, no nothing?
Everything reaches it eventually.
Long dark hang over the soul. All right.
I think instead of voices, you hear this as a discordant gong. And the vision in front of you shimmers as you can sort of see the dimness of the stairway again, leading up to the roof garden. I'm going to say that... How do you get to where you sense it is? I mean, obviously Zero is like, very near with the stairs, but Vivi, Petri, feeling this more than anything, whether either understanding the time shift and dimensional vibration or by seeing this cacophony as yourself and outside yourself. How do you get up to the roof garden?
Good question.
So
I mean, it's on another building, right? Like help me out just relationally to where I am.
Chapel is like, we'll say, outside. It's like one of the outbuildings from the apartment, from the tenement.
What if his legs just grew about 4 stories? What if he just stretched up there?
Interesting. I
Yeah,
think
that's gonna be what it is.
yeah, I think this is a little bit weirder than your normal.
I mean, it's bigger.
That's funny. Let's say that you power through darkness, please.
Sure.
Push the limits of your supernatural powers, straining to do the extraordinary or avert imminent danger.
Oh no! If I'm rolling this, we're doing it way worse. We're doing it. Petri himself grows full scale to about 40 feet tall, and then when he reaches the top of the building, his giant eyeball pops out and becomes a different, smaller Petri, and then the other one just sort of dissolves. Who needs elevators?
Okay.
I will spend 2 darkness tokens, and that is a 6 on the dice.
Okay. So that's an 8.
Yes, bringing me down to a grand total of 0 darkness tokens.
Okay. Watch
One
how
of
you
better make me feel included.
Okay. All right. Bring it on. Okay, so you use your powers with great precision and effect, changing the situation before you. Additionally, the Keeper may offer you a reprieve, a golden opportunity, or a bond with someone. Yeah, I think as you make it up to doing, just again, you've described it. 40 feet tall, popping out an eyeball, rolling out into a little into a more normal
full
size
size Petri. Well, he doesn't have a cannon size, but like
right.
all the full substance of the eyeball sort of unfolds like Samus into Petri.
Okay. What happens to the rest of you?
Oh, it just dissolves into purple goop. It looks, and I've had such a specific mental image of what Petri's goop looks like for so long and never had the chance to bring it up. But it looks like purple glitter gack.
Oh my god.
Like there's a very specific kind of purple that I'm thinking of here.
Okay.
Okay.
And it
Interesting.
definitely it's filled with glitter.
Oh my god. And I watched 2 documentaries on like, the dark side of glitter. It's great. All right, brain. Yeah, so Zero, you make it up to the roof garden just as this very large Petri face pops the eyeball, and the eyeball rolls out to become Petri. As you almost hear like this pring sound as the big Petri dissolves, or, yeah, dissolves or dissipates into purple glitter gack.
Oh good, you're already here. I think I figured out where the door is.
Oh, have you? Good. Good.
So
Meanwhile,
oh.
Vivi at the bottom and sort of yells up at the rooftop. You couldn't have picked us up while you were very big, could you? No, that's fine.
I think we will cut back to Petri just for a second and see that like the thought of that does make him scared. He's sheepish about this.
About picking people up?
Yeah.
So how do you make it up on the roof, Vivi?
Good question. The human part of Vivi is like, just take the stairs. Uh, the rest of it is like, this is an emergency. What the heck are you doing? Do the thing.
Do the
And
thing.
so I think Vivi will grit their teeth. To do this destabilizes local causality. And Vivi's hand will just sort of dissipate, like the chromatophores that hold it up will go, and under it is just this kaleidoscopic limb tentacle mass that is full. Imagine a kaleidoscope, but it's made of stars. It's changing and forming. And Vivi will just tear a small hole in reality and walk out onto the roof. And then sort of glare at the hole. It's going to take ages for that to heal.
You notice a an expression that can only be described as like puppy love on Petri's face. Like he's just struck dumb by whatever this is.
Vivi looks down at their arm and kind of like shakes it really hard, and the skin regrows and reforms. Right. Well, they will look over at the door and yell at the door. This is completely unacceptable. Please stop this immediately.
Zero is, I think at this point, he's got his altered hand, his right hand in his jacket pocket, and his left hand under his jacket collar, just holding the wound from the bite, keeping maybe just a bit of his shirt pressed against it. And he's just gonna look at Vivi and Petri, and so you're gonna just yell at it? Is that your plan, Vivi?
You'll be kind of affronted. Well, if I have to take stronger action, I will, but there's no sense to be impolite.
Take stronger action? Why don't you try doing anything?
Vivi will take a step closer to Zero. Say, I will do something. Do not test me.
Don't test you? Why not?
And Vivi will just turn away from Zero and look back at the door and start walking towards it.
Just leaving me alone again. Right? Just
I'm right here.
you fucked me up. You did something, Petri.
I know.
Vivi will
You
just
don't
call
get
over
to
their
be
shoulder.
here now.
Could we bicker later, please?
Fine. Mm, this is the door, right? This here says, sort of looking down at the anthill.
But where's the harbinger, though?
Couldn't be the ants, could it? No.
Why
Suppose we'll
not?
just have to wait. They'll be here eventually.
No, we should try to close this now. This is resonating at a frequency that will destabilize local reality.
It's a
You're
door, all
tearing a
right.
hole in it to get up to the roof.
What are you all arguing about? What are you looking for up here? This is Georgie, who has his overalls on, and he's got like a spade over his shoulder. What are you looking
And
for?
people.
It can't be you, can it? Please tell me it's not you. I liked you. If we've met.
I don't know if I've met you. I know you are one of the ones that landed.
Oh, sorry, I get confused sometimes.
Me too. Me too. What
What
are
are
you
you
looking
doing
at?
up here?
My job. I've already cleared up downstairs a little bit, and then decided to get away from all the ruckus down there. And he kind of like leans over a little bit over the edge just to kind of peek at the crowd that's still downstairs in the commune. It's quieter up here, except for the hum and the sounds.
Do we hear the hum?
It's that discordant chorus of voices that two of you hear, and then maybe Zero to you. It sounds more like a gong.
How do you hear that?
Oh, well, when you're an old duende like me, you just sense things. Sometimes you hear things, you see things, and then sometimes you just want to turn away and ignore what's happening and get on with it.
Vivi will just not fully turn around, but say, if it is you, I preemptively apologize. This is likely to hurt. And Vivi will begin trying to effectively noise cancel the cosmic vibrations by doing the opposite thing with dimensional phasing, trying to stop the resonance of the door.
Okay. Alrighty. So this would count as power through darkness.
I think so.
Once the door starts to form, it's going to it's going to counter vibrate, I'm sure, but I mean, like, right now it's like you can try and contain it before it gets,
Sure.
before it even starts building. Push through the limits, spend darkness tokens, and roll.
So Vivi's human form begins to sort of get blurry as they begin to vibrate at a frequency that would probably shake apart anything that was actually living. And I will spend. Heck, let's spend all 4.
Oh, heck.
11.
On an 11 plus. You are on the edge of disaster. Choose one. Mark a condition to exert better control of your powers, or let the Keeper tell you how the situation is not under your control.
Vivi will mark merciless.
Okay. All right, so that should bring you back down to, we'll consider it like an 8 to 10 effect. So you have better precision and effect and changing the situation. What does this look like when you...
But can I spend bonds to do that? Or is a bond a tier, or is it a literally 1? Like we have to spend 3 to get it down to that rather than...
Yes.
No, because I mean, well, okay. Mark a condition to exert better control of your powers. I consider that kind of like, helping you to have control, because it's like the or condition, like,
Right. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking like I rolled an 11. So if I
Yeah.
spent a bond, I could beat it.
Oh, wait. You rolled an 11 and then now that's 14?
No, sorry. I rolled an 8. Or
Now that's 12.
12, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I can count
we
too.
remath. It is. I
Okay.
rolled an 8.
Remath. Okay.
I rolled an 8. I spent 4. I have 12. So I have to spend 2 bonds theoretically.
To bring it down to more precision effect. However,
Yeah.
the move itself says for power through darkness, you are on the edge of disaster. Choose one, mark a condition to exert better control of your powers, or I tell you how the situation is not under your control. So I imagine that you would mark a condition to be able to use your powers instead of like letting me fuck it up. So, in which case you don't have to spend bonds.
All right. If I wanted to spend the bond instead of taking a condition, is what I'm asking.
Oh, then yeah, you would spend
2?
2 bonds. Yep, to get you down to
Okay.
10.
I'm going to do that instead of marking merciless. I have a bond with Georgie.
Okay.
And I have a bond with 0.
Okay. Tell me how.
How
Yeah.
those affect it.
Yeah.
So the bond with Georgie, I mean, Vivi had that was from the prophetic dream. So there was something there, and I think maybe in the dream, Vivi started to attune to the correct frequency.
Sure.
As for 0, well, 0 just demanded that they do something, and so they're gonna dang well do something.
Okay. All right. Dang well do something you do. So tell me what this looks like with your counter vibration and how it affects the door that is the burgeoning insects that were starting to helix themselves.
I think it starts with the chorus getting quieter, kind of muted and far away, and Vivi's form is vibrating very quickly, but not necessarily. If you're watching it, is it still human, or have they changed shape to better match the frequencies? Like, it's hard to tell because it's sort of, they're moving very quickly, but it's actually very hard to look at. And I think uh I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what the effect on the door is beyond the resonance sort of being suppressed there. Perhaps the insects all go still eventually.
Gotcha. a sonic knockout. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I feel like the forming helix dissipates and they kind of fall over, and they're not dead because otherwise they'd be on their backs, but I mean, like, you know, they're essentially like just still as if they've been stunned.
And once they stop moving, there's sort of almost like a pop of pressure, and Vivi will reform and be sort of curled up and maybe breathing heavily. And then they'll stop and say, wait, I don't need to breathe. And will stand back up and just sort of brush themselves off and look at Georgie. Say, did it hurt? I'm curious.
No, but it looked like it hurt you. Are you all right?
Yes, well, the sacrifices we make for the greater good. A little pain is nothing.
Little pain. I remember my friend saying that once. Jin. He was my greatest enemy and my best friend before he was
Sounds
torn
like you
apart.
might need better friends.
Well, he is no longer. He was torn apart, just like the others.
Wait, so it isn't you? If it's not you, then Vivi will start looking around.
I think
Are we
you should.
alone up here? The three of us?
You mean the four of you? Since since Georgie's here.
Didn't count 0. God.
Yeah, I added 1 for Petri and 1 for Georgie and 1 for Vivi and 0 for 0.
I'm gonna say that once you were finished with your counter vibration and the insects go still, I think if you're looking around, then you'll see that somehow it's gotten even darker on the edges of this roof garden, as if fingers of shadow have like actually spread over the plants and over the walls and the ground, like as if it's some kind of dark shadows and tendrils that are moving in, hemming you all in this place. And from behind one of the trees, one of the shrubs, crawls out someone that looks like they're in tattered robes of some sort. Can't quite see them. It's almost like they're coming out of the darkness, literally coming out of the darkness. And they just hiss. Why did you do that? Why did you stop the ritual?
He just looks over. Because it would have destabilized this reality?
Why wouldn't you want that to happen?
And Vivi will not. I made a promise.
Would you like me to show you what would happen if it did?
I know what would happen if it did.
No, I don't think you do. Or you wouldn't have done any of this.
We need to go back to the old ways. The old days. When we did not fear the humans. We were free to be ourselves. Rituals are necessary. Sacrifice is necessary. If you were one of us, this would be so much easier.
Vivi will step towards the the form and say, "Oh, I know a little something about sacrificing some people for the supposed good of all of those people. Well, it doesn't end. Not that it doesn't end well. It doesn't end. You will continue, and it will never be enough. I know this. I will not let you do this. It is tempting. I understand. Oh, do I understand that? But you will not.
You understand nothing, creature. And as they say this, they have their arms, or like what look like arms, raise, and out of the darkness comes more of the same, what looks like tattered robed pieces, figures, half in and half out of the darkness. And they all, again, this darkness was converging around you, and now they are all reaching for you. If we cannot open the door without interruption, then let us make you part of the door.
You think you know the future that you will bring. I am telling you that you do not. And I have had enough of sacrifices like this. And Vivi is going to attempt to permanently stop time on all of them. It's a way of imprisoning them.
Oh my god. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's like a big ass power through darkness for sure. Yeah, that's do you have any darkness? You don't have any darkness tokens left, right?
I took one for feeling lonely since we were talking about being understanding.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll spend
Alrighty.
it.
Okay.
7.
7 minus. Keeper will offer you something connected to what your darkness demands of you. Whether or not you take it, prepare for the worst. So, the last. What does your darkness demand of you? To
To
betray,
betray division and to
resurrect your
resurrect my people at the expense of humanity.
Oh my. And you wanted to permanently stop time, huh?
I wanted, yeah, to effectively stop all of the forms. They would all just freeze and be stasis.
I think as the darkness wraps itself around your figures, maybe grasping at your ankles and your hands as you're trying to do this, I think just before you accomplish something, you notice that all of the insects that were still on the ground have now been immersed in darkness. And I think this darkness will even, to you, go over everyone. Georgie, Zero, Petri, and all you will see of these figures in the darkness, they'll recede, and then before you comes people from your past. Your people. Bring us out of the darkness. Bringing us back into the light.
He just stares at them and kind of makes a little choked sound.
And they're reaching for you. They're come.
Not real.
We can
You are
we
echoes.
can join you.
You are echoes. You don't exist anymore.
And Petri and Zero, I think you see this. The darkness is encroaching, the insects have disappeared, and Vivi is stock still, frozen in their own, locked in some kind of vision.
Zero, you need to do something.
Zero looks at Vivi, looks at Petri, and I'm going to mark a ruin.
Oh.
And I'm going to summon by
Not
nightmare.
transmitting.
Oh my.
Am I transmitting again?
Yes.
Sorry, thank you. So I have learned how to harness dreams and create great and terrible weapons from them. When I turn dreams into a dangerous weapon, I mark ruin and choose a type of weapon, and I'm going to choose a weapon of pure nightmare. It has a will and mind of its own. It creates itself. It is powerful, unstoppable. It is exactly what we need. And it will only honor my commands for a time.
Okay. All right, fantastic. Do you have to roll for that or like?
Yep, just mark ruin.
Okay, nice. All right, so what do you want this creature to do?
Kill the Harbinger.
Ooh. All right.
And its summons.
Okay. These figures, again, are reaching out for you. One of them has Vivi in its thrall, like encircling his wrists and ankles. And almost like a dark shadow, kind of like, speaking over his shoulder. And then, again, the others are surrounding you and then reaching for you all as well. What does this nightmare do to suppress and then dispatch them all?
I think it pours out of them first. It's not just nightmare, it's their nightmares. It's everything they fear. And that as it pours forth from their figures and overpowers them, that's enough to distract for a time as they're face to face with everything that has haunted their dreams for as long as they've had them.
You see crawling out of these dark, tattered robes humans, almost as if the humans have been regurgitated from these robes, looking with fear, looking with complete vulnerability at these things. It's like, no, not this week. No, stay away. And then their true forms will envelop them again, like engorging themselves on these humans of dream and nightmare. And it'll happen again and again and again. And you're just seeing this nightmare vision of this loop happening of consumption and fear. And Georgie is just kind of huddled behind you three, and then just, what is happening? What is this horror?
I'm doing something.
Petri, how are you? What is your reaction?
I can't say I've ever seen anything like this before. My, what strange powers my friends have. I'm going to take darkness tokens for reacting with delight and appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
And are you doing anything with this? And again, Vivi is locked in his own.
Oh no, I think I've done quite enough. I'll try to keep Georgie safe, I guess.
Okay. Well, again, this is just a back and forth loop of turning into humans or being just.
Oh, the process of becoming is normal.
But then consumed, and then the regurgitation of these human forms in muck and mire, being fearful, and then being swallowed up again.
Well, it's not like they're dying. They'll still be able to do things. It's not that bad.
Zero's going to look at Petri as he says this, and I'm going to mark another ruin.
Oh no. What?
Oh, I was trying to not
Wow.
that.
Are you trying to get. Okay, go ahead. Keep going. What are you doing?
I'm going to summon a physical weapon.
Okay.
It is, I think it's a, do I want to be real on the nose here?
Do it.
Yeah, I do. It's
Yeah.
a gauntlet with very long blades at the end of the fingers.
Okay.
And Zero, when he looks at Petri, I think the the blackness from his hand, his warped hand, it's flowing up his arm and over the wound and touching his face like inky tendrils. And he's going to start walking towards the Harbinger.
Okay.
These foot-long blades extending from his hand.
Got it. Yeah.
Also, I filled my rune track.
Yes. Yes, you have. Get a ruin in advance. Oh my gosh. This is great. Damn. Okay. Yeah. You can pick any one of those things. Take a ruin move. Take a ruin move from another playbook if you want. Permanently mark a condition. Gain a new ruin condition.
I'm not going Harbinger, so I'll
I was
make
gonna
the
say.
actual choice later.
Okay, that's fine. Just make sure that you remember to do it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to Vivi. Yeah, Vivi, your people are surrounding you and just calling out to you, saying, "You can bring us back. Shift this time. Bring us forward. Bring us to where you are. You can do this."
Vivi has sunk to their knees and is just, I think, holding their head in their hands. And they'll look at them and say, I know how. I need an energy tap at Lagrange points 1 and 3. And then temporal anchor And no. No.
Your anchor's here. And one of them will actually, reach down and you feel the touch on your shoulder. You feel how warm that is. And the other hand will reach towards you.
Vivi will take their hand.
It's real to you.
It will kill all of the humans.
What do they matter? We matter. You matter.
I do not.
You seem conflicted. Why?
Why? How can I repay a great wrong by repeating it? It just moves it around, gives the suffering to someone else. How is that right?
Oh, I guess you weren't conflicted.
Want it more than anything. Want it.
Of course you
I know
do.
how to do it. I can't. I must not do it.
You keep muttering that to yourself. Those plans, that thing. Is that really all you've ever wanted to create? Is that really all you can imagine?
What could there be? I am alone. Always.
Not alone with us. You can have
Exactly.
us back.
That is the one way to not be alone. All it requires is
Am I
repeating
really
my
so
greatest
alien
mistake.
to you? Are we all such monsters? You see nothing of yourself in our faces. I was human once. I still am. Don't destroy my home.
Is
So
this Petri talking or is this Peter?
This... That is truly a question for downtime.
I mean, I'm imagining I'm imagining Petri breaking into this.
Oh, no, it's definitely... I don't think I've been carrying it in vocal performance, but this is definitely a different Petri than the one that has been talking.
Yeah.
Vivi will say, "You might have been human once. I never was." And Vivi is going to release their human form entirely and use Harrowing Beauty.
Oh dear.
Ooh. What does that do?
I mark a condition and tear away the mask to reveal the true alien horror that I am.
Oh my.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
Vivi is very far from human. When the covering of skin and hair and clothing unfurl, or I guess implodes inwards, what you see is similar to what you saw before with their arm, but writ large. Vivi is this geometric shape constantly bending and folding in on itself, untold dimensions bending and dancing within their form. And you can't always see it in the sort of the kaleidoscopic mess, but every so often there is just a portal to a field of stars through their body. And I think if yes, exactly that.
Why?
Vivi is geometry more than flesh, and when I think Vivi wears the skin of humanity, because when something that is confined to this many dimensions looks at it, it is literally incomprehensible. It is the shape out of space, if you will. Take the Lovecraft reference.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
I would like to make a number of declarations about what Petri is doing and capable of doing in this moment.
Sure.
Because I really don't think you're all that incomprehensible to him. Or if you are, then it's, you know, a workload. Many hands make light work, and many minds count many dimensions. And I think, I don't even know what move I would use for this, but I think what Petri's going to do is, you have so many beautiful hands, and so many eyes, so many hearts. They're all stacked up on top of each other. It must be nice to breathe like this, isn't it? To see with your own eyes.
And yeah, Petri, you would sense that there is a freedom, a jubilation in being free of the human form, as Vivi skips through the dimensions and stretches for the first time in years. Who knows?
I feel like this is a reveal your heart in some very, very beautiful geometric / surreal fashion.
Sure. The kaleidoscopic mess that is Vivi will not so much float, but unfold forward and fold up backwards almost to move through space until it is oscillating in front of the figure of Petri. We'll say, perhaps you can understand with your many dimensions to see a part of us, a part of my people who danced through the sky. But that is only because you are not human, Petri. The humans, if I do not wear their skin, I break their minds. I must.
And what do they do to you?
Teach me, I hope.
What did you roll?
3.
So what?
3 is fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Okay. 7. 7 minus. Something interrupts or undermines the moment. A dire warning, consequence, or an aspect of the mystery itself. The keeper will tell you what happens next. Oh boy, howdy. Yeah, I think as you're reaching out across the bounds, divide, and growing ever closer in surreality, I think swirling around and in you before we get back to Zero and their very physical encounter with the Harbinger. I think you two will be torn apart. Like, not torn apart yourselves, but like brought further away from each other by a very cosmic and interdimensional, outer dimensional wind of sorts. Like where you can feel and not feel something bringing you further away from each other. And you hear what sounds like flapping wings. And it's not Petri's wings. It's something else. Something all around you. And there's a smell, a very pervasive smell of blood. Why is there a pervasive smell of blood, Zero? What have you done?
Slaughtered everything. Except Georgie.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I
your
think
cat...
he's
Yeah.
he's standing there just like covered in gore.
Yeah. It's so fast that the pieces are still shuddering. And we see the darkness has receded, and in its place is just... the whole place is bathed in blood. Of what you do not know. But it is here. It is Iker. It stains everything, and Georgie is just horrified. He has to lean on his spade as he looks around at the chaos and carnage. What was this? Why? Did you stop it? Will anybody else be killed? Because this is so much. So much.
Is there anyone left to kill?
And he just looks at you with wide eyes and pleading. Not me. Not me. Not me. And he screams and he just turns and just tears down the stairs of the roof garden, down away from you, seeing something that just has horrified him so completely. And I think you too, Petri and Vivi, I think you've also been splashed by this gore, and the smell, like I said, of blood is very pervasive. It has broken your concentration, your hold in the outer dimensions that you found yourselves in. And I think you are abruptly brought back to yourselves here in this present and this dimension.
I think Zero is still standing there, breathing a little heavier, covered in gore. And he drops the gauntlet and looks at the others and says, "Good of you to join me." Is it done?
Vivi just stares at you and Petri and Georgie. And
Georgie's
then
got torn down the stairs. He's no longer there.
okay. And at the gore and just chokes back a sob and like jumps off the building. Like not in a end of like kind of way, in a I need to leave kind of way.
Yeah.
Like a superhero leap.
A little bit slower than that. It's not gonna, usurp Wisp's move here, but
right.
Just I don't need gravity right now. I'm gonna go over there.
Mary Poppins leap. Is it done? Did I do it?
Is what done?
Did
Certainly
I stop?
closed the door.
Good. I think Zero will just sit down. I should also point out that I have taken the move Let Sleeping Gods Lie, and I have started a new doomsday clock. The dream ends.
Oh, man. Oh, dear.
Hey, we're in the rooftop garden, right?
We are.
And all the plants are covered in blood and viscera.
Yep.
I think I can do something about that.
Okay.
I think I'm going to, I guess, power through darkness
Okay.
and spread out in such a way. Find somewhere nearby across my many domains that these plants won't die from excess iron in the soil. And they're strong enough to not need to be washed. Try to save Georgie a little work.
Okay.
Going to spend 2 darkness tokens on this.
Okay.
And good thing I did, because that is an 8 on the dice, bringing me up to 10.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Oh no, wait,
so,
that's a 9, which brings me up to 11.
Whoops.
Oops.
Oopsie.
I done did it too hard again.
Done did it too hard again. Well, you're on the edge of disaster. You choose one. You mark a condition to exert better control of your powers, or you
Oh,
let me
definitely
tell.
that one.
Okay, we'll pick a condition.
Nihilistic.
Man. All right. So, yeah, just. Where do you bring them? Where do you bring these plants?
Somewhere, or I find them, I think, in somewhere a lot more violent than our home world. Somewhere where this kind of blood is dependably sourced. They can make do without it, but this won't kill them.
I mean, there's still traces of blood and such, but once you clear the plants away, then it's just only on the bare spots here and on the walls. But Georgie will have to do some cleanup of sorts later. All right. So I think by this point, day is broken. The Madelancholy had returned to the apartment building and found carnage on their roof. But many of them are too tired to worry about it, and so they are just going to drift off to bed. And I think before she heads to her rest as well, I think Elder Adora will come up to the roof garden from Georgie's frenzied and fearful ramblings about what happened, and she will look at the carnage on the roof herself. At least the remains of it. And she will say, Of course. Because of Things that we think only happen with the humans happen within ourselves too. And maybe that's the most human thing about us. If you're all on the rooftop getting ready to be delivered back to division, I think she's going to look at all of you, especially you, Vivi, and say, hopefully this is the worst that you will have seen of us. And that you will not see this from your human friends, handlers, whatever they are to you. Or maybe not.
Vivi just kind of bitterly and not turning around even to face them. Like, this is nothing.
Sister Teresa will look around herself and, well, I hope you are able to stop it, and we will not see any more of us be murdered, I guess.
He just looks down at the gore splattered rooftop and coughs.
I think I'll help Georgie later and get this cleaned up. You know what my job was at Division before I came here?
Lunch lady.
She looks over at you with a smirk and says, no. But cleanup crew wasn't that far off. God speeds you all. And I think at this point, this is where Cobb will come up to meet the boat or your conveyance, and he'll be like, wow, I guess I missed a lot, huh?
Zero won't look him in the eye and say, what else is new? As he walks onto their conveyance.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened to you? You're so different. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
He'll look stricken and he'll look at you, Petri, and you, Vivi, and say, is he gonna be all right?
Vivi will just not read his eyes and say, are any of us ever really? And walk onto the conveyance.
Of course not. And walk onto the conveyance.
Camera will pan to see the boat, you know, the underside of the boat hover and then blast away as the conveyance takes us into the sky, and we head towards Division. All right. So I just want to know, what is the first thing that each of you do when you head to Division? I think Cobb will tell you on the way back that Wisp is not with you because she was already picked up. There was some issues that they needed to question her about.
Was the issue starting a monster revolution?
No, nothing like that. It seemed to be some kind of unauthorized.
So starting a revolution wouldn't be an issue?
She didn't start a revolution. She just knows how to gather people around. I mean, it's part of her talent. No. There was something else that they had to ask her about. She should be over at division like once she's done. So.
By division, do you mean like our home base back in Centralia, or are we at like a different division branch?
They had to question her over at some other division branch. That's why she had to leave before you. She'll be fine. Don't worry.
I wasn't.
Raised eyebrows. Okay. And he will sit back in his seat and just kind of like look like he's playing on his phone or watching some videos. But every so often, like, he'll kind of look over his phone and then look over at you all. And then back on his phone again.
Well, we've had time to like shower yet,
Yeah.
or is zero?
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah,
you can assume there's either
100%.
like they would have allowed you to shower there, like at the apartment building beforehand, or like there's stuff on the conveyance.
The first thing Petri does when he gets back to Pennsylvania is wash their hands.
Agent Danvers is there, approaching you in your greenhouse. She kind of like knocks tentatively, and she says, "They didn't let us know what had happened. I imagine they're going to invite you to a debriefing in a few. Are you all right? I wasn't getting any of your usual readings. You weren't sending anything back."
I didn't do anything. And everything got worse anyway.
Do you want to talk about it?
Not yet. Maybe one day.
Okay.
I need to find my voice again.
I'll leave you be. I will file some reports, but just expect them to call for a debriefing in a few, okay?
Thank you, Lydia.
You're welcome, Petri. And as she leaves, she kind of like turns and looks a little bit over her shoulder, just kind of puzzled, but then she'll turn back and then leave you to it. And Vivi, I think you might get a little on communicator from Agent Ehrlich, and she's going to say something of the same thing via like a voice message,
Okay.
saying it's like, "I heard you're back, Vivi. Whenever you want to stop by and do the dream protocol, please do so. I imagine they're going to do a debriefing, and maybe this is something that you want to do before they ask you all sorts of things about what happened in the Philippines."
suppose. I will be by briefly.
I look forward to seeing you, Vivi.
And Vivi is just silent and lost in contemplation.
Where does Vivi go?
Vivi goes to the music room and tries to retrieve the book.
You will not find. They will not find the book there.
Yep. That's gonna be. So Vivi's in the room, and then they try to reach sideways into the piano out of this dimension. And they frown. And they kind of fish around. You are when you're trying to reach into a cupboard and you can't see it, and it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
And the frown deepens. And then it turns to anger. And they leave the music room.
And Zero, where do you go when you return to Division?
The pool. He doesn't get in though. He just sits on the edge. Just rolls up his pant legs, pulls off his shoes, and sits on the edge.
At some point while you're sitting on the edge, dangling your feet, I think you'll see a big fluffy towel placed next to you. That's for when you get out and get ready for the debrief, yeah?
Why?
Because it's what they always ask for after a mission. I mean, they I try to stay clear, not because I'm a coward or anything, but usually they know not to depend on me for detailed reports. So, I mean, they always ask for a debrief.
What's the point?
To find out how things are going, to make sure that no threats get by y'all. And what happened to you there? You're not. I mean, I know you're not a man of a lot of words. I understand that. Usually I'm not. But usually we have some kind of rapport. And I don't feel that right now. What happened to you?
I did the job. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I get. I'm useful while I'm useful, and then when I'm not, you'll get someone else to kill me. So while I'm here, I'll do the job. Cobb?
Zero. No. That's
I'm
not
wrong?
it. They won't kill you. What? Where did you get this idea?
If I'm not useful, then I'm a liability. And you send people like me after liabilities. So, you want a weapon? You got a weapon.
This is where he sits next to you. And he dangles his feet in the water. And he kind of puts his hands, or he puts his forearms on his thighs as he's thinking, and he's looking in the water. And he says, "Look, weapons are things that we can hold. We can hold guns. We can hold swords and all that kind of stuff. You have, and the others have immense powers that we work with. We work with you. And if there's any kind of issue or something going on, that's why we are assigned to each of you. We just want to know to help and be that ear to listen if there's something you need to talk about.
No choice, though. Not here to offer any choices.
You want another handler? What kind of choice did you need? What?
Everyone else has something before this, maybe even something after this, and they have each other. And I don't have anything. And I won't have anything. I don't get to have anything. So, fine. I'll just do what I can do the best that I can.
Did you keep your hand covered up? Or can he see it?
I think it might have started in his pocket, but it's in his lap now.
Is that what happened to you?
Nothing happened to me.
Zero, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize.
I got chewed on for a while too, but no one cared. No one. And it's fine. I get it. I'm just. I'll do the job. And when I'm done, the next freak you find will kill me. And then we'll move on. So we don't have to be friends. Let's just make it easier.
He looks like he has more to say, but he just looks at you with growing concern. But he will quickly take his feet out of the water and hoist himself up. And he'll put his hands on his hips and say, "Look, I don't know what kind of bee you got in your bonnet or whatever happened there, and I am so sorry for this, whatever happened to you. But don't think that you're alone. I am here. I know I'm not the best at it, but I am here. And yes, we don't have to be friends, but you also don't have to. They told me not to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. They don't have to be a complete ass about it." And then he turns on his heel and then he leaves. And that's where we're going to end the session for tonight as we look at end of session questions. Oh my god. Yikes. Alright. Summoned. Okay, so we're going to start with the found. Alright. Did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity?
I think so.
Yup. Mark 1 XP. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I think so.
Yes. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I don't think so.
Yeah. And you attempted to unlock Doom's door, so No ruin, but you gave yourself a lot of hell of a ruin, so that's fine. And what was the impulse that you tried to embody today?
Did I open my mind or heart to another monster? I don't think Cobb counts.
No. All right. The last. Vivi, did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity? Oh, you're on B.
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin? Darkness demanded a hell of a lot today.
Yes, I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yes.
Yes. Mark 1 XP. Yes, attempted to unlock Doom's door, so no ruin is marked. Wait, hold on. No ruin. And then, what was the impulse you wanted to embody today?
Did you seek solitude and turn away from hope for the future?
Oh, boy, howdy.
I'll take one with that.
Yeah. And the Herald. Petri, did you express your monstrous nature and or express your humanity? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that eyeball rolling, man. Damn. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I don't think so. I mean, yes. Yes, but not on screen, if that makes sense. Like, I think I've just about sorted out what I want out of the playbook I made for Petri, so that counts.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Uh-huh.
All right. So, Doom's door was attempted to be unlocked, so no ruin. And what was the impulse you embodied today?
That was same as it is every week. Try to take over the world. What actually was it? Right, the only one that's actually the only one that ever comes up. Did you attempt to find meaning in your relationship with another? The answer is yes.
Okay. So, Martin, stars and wishes, by God. I find it interesting that it always seems like Zero is the one tackling the door. God. And everybody else just deals with Fallout. Yeah. Stars for using your moves to be able to create solution to this onslaught of the Harbinger. For you, Zero, and then for just, oh my God, I love the weirdness, I have to say. I mean, like the surreality of it, the weirdness, and it just goes into strange places that not quite sci-fi, not quite horror, not quite I can't think of another. I mean, definitely intersections of time and dimensions and all that, but wow. Yeah, I
Not
just love the
quite magical
biplane.
realism, but close.
Just something. I mean, I don't. It's like an aspect of everything that you could like throw into like a modern game with urban fantasy, but not usual
really
urban
taking
fantasy.
big swings at that fantasy, on the urban fantasy.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Very fantastic. That's what I'm gonna say. Stars for all of that. Between Petri and Vivi. Yeah, I mean, just the images that you were calling upon, and just the things that were happening to you, especially when you missed. Oh my God. So, uncomfortable star for that. I mean, I don't know how else to call it. And wishes, I mean, like, oh my God, like, I can't wait to see what you guys do for downtime, if you do anything with each other, or have conflict, or tell your handlers to fuck off. I don't know. I mean, Jesus. You guys went through stuff today, and I'm like, I'm still
I
reeling
can't
from
wait
it.
to have angst about it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's gonna
I'm
be
gonna have a
great.
whole new playbook about it.
Okay. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. And then maybe we'll see what Wisp has been dealing with while she's been out. So that's me. Just I have like a bunch of like, jumbled conflicting thoughts, but I mean, it was all good. Overall, it was great. So that's all I got to say.
I'll say a couple of things. Petri continues to be wonderful and monstrous and heroic and also bizarre and I didn't
Not
know.
quite scary though. This
That's
has
the
been my
great
main
part.
issue.
I don't know. I think turning into a giant version of themselves and then turning into purple glitter gag is horrifying in its
It's grotesque,
weirdness.
but like lowercase g grotesque.
No, I enjoyed it, and I'm always here for it, and it is. I'm glad that Vivi isn't the weirdest thing in this group. Ben, I feel like you've been building up to this for a long time, and it was great to see Zero finally snap. So, good job. And then joint star to Mads and Ben, the scene with Zero and Cobb. I loved that. That was so good. I hurt so much for both of them. It makes me so sad, and I love it. And for Mads as well, thank you for doing Vivi's vision with the things. That is great, and it gives me a thing to work off of, and it is more or less in physical terms what emotionally Vivi is doing all the time to themselves. So yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to the fallout of that.
All right, my turn.
Go for it.
Stars 2, 0. Ben for specifically the. I mean, I love everything you did this session. The two things I have written down are fuck yeah, Freddy Krueger glove. And the way the nightmare like pours out of them. That was your opening move. And that really set the fucking tone for what we were doing today. And then you really like that was extreme, and I especially want to start with how extreme your reaction to it was in character with Cobb. Okay, and that's everything for you. Matt, my heart broke for Vivi today, but everything yeah, you just did a fantastic job, and stars to Mads for the visions and the that was you really just laid out exactly everything that Vivi could ever want, and soul crushing. Yeah, those are my stars. My wish is to have angst about it.
Yeah, let's feel bad about our choices.
A lot of things are out in the open now. Wisp is gonna have a hell of a time.
Better stock up on cigarettes.
Yep.
Yeah.
She may not want to talk to Warren Peace when she gets back, depending on how far they rake her over the coals at the other division place. Who knows?
True. We'll
find out.
I have a tiny piece of admin/question about people's plans. Are either of you planning on changing playbooks? I'm thinking of taking a move from another playbook, and I don't want to if it's going to step on someone's toes.
I am changing playbooks, but I'm writing my own.
Okay.
I'm not planning on it right now.
Lovely. Okay. I want to take I Am Your Destruction from the Surge.
Ooh.
Is that like that's not one of the top moves, right? It's
No,
a
it
choice.
isn't.
Okay, great. So
The
long
top
as it's
moves
not
from
one of the
the
starting
search
moves, you're fine. I mean, but I think when you
are
take
my
a
heart in your
playbook
hand,
move,
something
yeah,
else.
when you take a move from another playbook, it just has to be one of the other moves, just not the
Yeah, it
starting
can't
one.
be one of the keystones.
Nope.
Yeah. I just didn't want to do something if someone was going to reach into that playbook or become it. I didn't want to grab it preemptively.
That is a fantastic move. But I have to say, I'm personally biased because I love the search. Oh God. I don't know if I could play it. I don't know if I could play in this game again myself because it's just like so much emotion. Help me. Yeah.
The trick is to pick a playbook that you don't see yourself in, and then be horrified when you discover that you've been there all along.
Oh, I don't know. Well, my second choice was the hungry, so God knows what I'd make of
Yeah,
it.
that's I don't think I can play the hungry. Just straight up.
Yeah. So interesting. Any more stars and wishes?
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. I thought I was. Oh, yeah.
No, it's
We
fine.
forgot
Everyone
Zero
forgets
again.
about Zero.
No! Oh God!
I just hope you all remember this when.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes, it's fine. It's fine. Bring on the
Remember
Harbinger.
what?
It's good. It's good. It's good.
I was half considering it,
I
but
know.
I didn't want to do it without Elle being here.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Next session. All right.
Oh my
yeah.
God!
Well, I got 5 more ticks of ruin to get.
Holy shit! During downtime.
You can do that
Yeah,
pretty
there we go.
quick.
Oh
Um,
no!
At least I can.
Zero's
yeah.
gonna implode.
Elle can.
Star Mads, that scene with Cobb at the end, I had a lot of fun, and also just the way you ended it there was just a perfect thing to say. Might not work out well, but it was the
Yeah.
perfect thing to say.
I mean, if you blow him up, I'm not gonna be surprised because I mean, he even said it to himself. It's like, no, I'm not supposed to say it. I'm not supposed to say it. But
Yeah, just the weirdness that we saw from both Vivi and Petri today in their various uh, uh, transportation options, and also the scene with Vivi in the stasis of his own making and his own nightmare, and Petri, you being there, and your questions, the pain in both of these characters that you both brought out on display, and just totally did this. Well, Zero did all the work again. You know,
I mean,
it's
oh God.
It's fine. Zero does things while we're busy having feelings.
and this is why he's going down the world.
Tick.
It's fine.
I mean, I literally hear the doomsday clocks tick, and
Yep.
like not
Oh,
not
yeah.
the mystery one. The
I
doom-
have two
It's
routes.
right there on the
Oh
character
my
sheet.
2 routes
God.
to get to it now.
Oh
It's
my-
amazing.
Yeah, it's totally amazing. Holy shit.
I feel like I finally figured Zero out today. And
Oh no, we pushed him over the edge. Shit.
yep.
Yeah, it's gonna suck to say goodbye to him, huh?
Oh God.
No, it's good, and I wish, I am looking forward to seeing how the characters work with this, and where it goes from here. I think it'll be interesting, drama. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. Let's myrtle some more things.
Oh my God. I just feel like we're in like the adult version of Monster Hearts. Holy shit. The weird
Oh,
and
actually,
strange.
there, I have to apologize, Mads. We were not horny enough for your challenge. We did not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Whoops.
So we're not really the
there's
adult version of
there's
Monster
still
Hearts.
time.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like the emotional messiness. I mean, like,
Today
it
was
is.
violence.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, next week, we can be horny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You know, there's still time. I mean, like, I'm not saying like like y'all had to do it like all at once, but I would just been interested to see. Oh, I got to remind Thursday's game. Hey, guys, you got to bring the horniness in. Okay, great, fabulous. Um, there's one more thing I wanted to ask. Was that Peter?
I don't think so, or at
Okay.
least not entirely.
I mean, you claimed human. Don't destroy my world, is what you asked.
Oh yeah, but there are a lot of Peters. There's a lot of everything. There's a lot of Peters. There's a lot of Petris. There's a lot of Petrichors. There are even somewhere far out there parts of the collective that I don't know by name.
Right. Well, I mean, it seems like everybody's got a different part that's coming out now in different ways. And I am dreading, but also very excited to see what you make of yourselves. Because again, so many different routes to go, which is why I think this game is very interesting. It's like, yeah, I mean, it could be tragic, it could be ruinous, it could be completely badass, but yeah, you don't know until you play to find out. And this is really, really makes you do that, I think. Um, so, and use of moves today, that was wonderful, especially in a row. Oh my God, that's so great. Um, damn. And the rolls were, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So, if there's nothing else, let's I don't know. I wish you guys happy gaming for anything else that you're doing before next time. And yeah. Oh man. Can't wait to see what happens next. So, have a great night, guys. We'll see you
Good night.
later.
Thanks very
See you
much.
next week.
See ya.